Man, you know, the more and more this Diddy trial goes on, it just proves it just how freaky Diddy is. I mean, you got this incident now that's saying that after these escorts ejaculate on Cassie, he would have Cassie come in the room with him. She would take the semen off and rub it on his nipples. That's how freaky this dude is. This dude was over the top with it. Not only is he being charged with sex trafficking and all of this stuff, it's really just exposing his life behind closed doors. And which this is something that a lot of people have always speculated when it comes to Diddy. A lot of people have come to just say that this guy is just almost a degenerate when it comes to this type of stuff. You have cases where men are even saying that Diddy was trying to sexually assault them. It's cases where women are saying that I think it was an incident where he went to a lady's job. I think it was a job or some. They was at some store, and he forced in the back room and did whatever he did with her. Told her don't say nothing else. He was gonna do something to her, and he just leaves. Like all of this stuff, I don't believe, but some of it I do. You know, and I think that they're just pointing a lot of this out to show his character and how he is as a sexual deviant. Because the more and more you listen, he's a sexual deviant. Now they tried to say this is on the level of R. Kelly. This is not on the level of R. Kelly. R. Kelly was involved with underage uh, uh, children. He got charged with like child pornography or some photos or something like that. But a lot of it was just underage girls, right? These are grown-ups, individuals who say that they were either coerced or they were drugged some type of way. And I don't believe that all of them were drugged. Even the judge has thrown out a lot of these cases where some of these people have come out and said that Diddy drugged them. You remember the one lady who was like 16 at the time that said she had an encounter with Jay-Z and Diddy. You see what happened in that? Poof, gone, disappeared. Then you had the lady, was her name Talia Graves? Poof, gone, disappeared. But like I say, a lot of this stuff when it comes to Diddy, it's just it's insane. It's really funny. You know, well, I ain't gonna say funny in terms of what happened to Cassie and and what went on, but just to know that somebody like Diddy is out here doing stuff like this. It says that Cassie tried to speed up these freak offs because she really wanted to get to her alone time with Diddy because Diddy was always, wanting her to do these freak offs. She said these freak offs was like a weekly occurrence. She used to have to be so drugged up just so she could maintain and perform during these acts. I'm pretty sure she had to be because your mind you're almost in a trance at some point if you have to do this stuff every week. Diddy is just watching you have sex with all of these people, which is something that I don't really understand because me as a man, I don't want my girl to be getting knocked down by somebody else while I just watch. Like I want to actually participate in the act, but I mean, people like these guys, they've done it all, they've seen it all. I think it's just not enough now. They like the voyeurism aspect. They want to see their wives or their girlfriends get knocked down by another guy, multiple guys in different ways, different positions. But to have the semen of another man put on you and that's turning you on, like it's just getting more and more deviant. And this is just day 2 of the trial, like I said. She said she had to be drugged up so much. Sometimes Diddy would even FaceTime her from another room while watching this. This is how much is getting crazy when it comes to this. He has to go in another space, I guess set a phone up, call it on FaceTime, and watch her perform with somebody else. Now that's just insane to me.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. I'm saying.
That is insane to me. I I don't know how he did it. But like I say, it just wasn't enough for him. He had to indulge himself some type of way. Other instances, she used these drugs. She was using tons of drugs, like I said, to make herself, she said, disassociate. It was numbing. She had to use it as some sort of buffer where she was having this, what she called emotionalist sex with these different guys. She said one night, I think the first time that they engaged, they were on a boat. He introduced her to ecstasy. They had sex. And at first, she said it was a good experience. She enjoyed the time being with him. But as the relationship went on, it turned into more and more of these freak offs. They became very frequent. She even said she recorded hundreds of songs. She had about 9 albums that never came out. Some of the songs were just leaked online, but the albums never dropped. So to be honest with you, what it turned into for Diddy was just turned her into a little freak. He really wasn't too much concerned with her career at some point. Because I remember when Cassie first came out, I thought, okay, she had that song, and it's me and you, and never really seen anything happen besides that. You just always seen her with Diddy. She actually said he was very violent. She said a lot of times she didn't even know if she could say no to anything. She felt like Diddy would just pop his top at any moment if she said no. At the hotel of the video that we saw with the incident, she said it was a freak off going on there and she was leaving. So when it comes to Diddy and his sex, it really consumed the man. It really just overtook his life. These freak out parties. She also said that he had these inflatable pools. And that's where the baby oil came into play, filled with baby oil. And he would have her get in these inflatable pools with this baby oil, and he would just want her just to be constantly just glistening all the time.
Nah, nigga. Nah. Nah. Nah.
She always wanted he always wanted her to be glistening. That's what it said. He would even stop it at some points and just be like, okay, put more baby oil on her. So she was just baby oiled up. At some point, she said it was just disgusting. She just felt an ick, I guess, what a lot of women would call like just an icky feeling. She said one of the escorts' real names was the Punisher, whatever that means. So she had a lot of run-ins with this guy called the Punisher. Like I say, this is just the second day of the trial. We are just getting started with this. Like for a while, I got away from the Diddy stuff because I had Diddy for it had to be a couple of weeks straight. When it comes to this stuff, you got to keep in mind, all of it, I don't believe from the accusers is true. I think a lot of this is just Diddy just being a freak. And I don't think that being a freak is a crime. Well, I know it's not a crime. Only things would be crimes would be what they call sex trafficking. I guess that would be in pertaining to the escorts, maybe people coming from out of states. When you start doing stuff out of state, bringing people in, that's where you start running into different issues and laws and criminality involved in these situations. Now, Cassie basically was saying she was just going along with it because she loved Diddy, but she didn't know it was going to go as far as it did, even though she stayed involved with it for so many years. But I guess that's how you can be brainwashed into a lot of this stuff. She even said a lot of this stuff was choreographed. So I guess he wanted her to do these scenes. He wanted certain things to take place. He wanted her to react a certain way. He wanted her to dress a certain way, put on different types of clothes. It was probably almost like porn for him, like his own personal porn videos. So I can just imagine he probably was addicted to real porn as well. He probably was addicted to real porn, and then he had Cassie reenacting some of his fantasies. Then you got the incidents with these men that's in the future is going to come out. In this case, I'm sure it is. But yeah, she said he had these scenes going on. He would even stop in the middle and have her redo certain sexual acts. I would think that would be hard because as a man, let's say if a certain, I don't know, maybe fellatio or something, and you bust or whatever. Now he want to see you do it again. To me, that's why I think the drugs and all of that is gonna come into play. Where they say, okay, well, now he was giving people drugs, trying to keep you going, trying to keep you erect and in the mood for sex, like for days. Because they saying this stuff went on for days. How you can have sex for days is beyond me. I've never thought that drugs could make you have sex for days. Maybe like all day, a all day thing, but for days, I thought that could kill you. Like, could because your heart would just be just racing all the time. But obviously, Diddy had these fantasies. He had these fantasies that he wanted Cassie to live out for him, and she was doing that. She was fulfilling a lot of his fantasies. So, like I say, y'all stay tuned. Y'all make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, keep it locked right here. And as always, I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.